Oh boy. Um, Hi Thomas. It's been a while. Yeah. Um well, I got that job at the British Museum we always talked about. Uh Shame you weren't here. Um there's uh there's an assistant at the museum who's taken quite a fancy to me. And it's so easy to hide who I am and live. But I just can't do that to you, Thomas. You know, that that boy last year that we we talked to at the park. He was. I saw him again. I decided to stop avoiding the park we'd always walk at, and I walked the park, and there he was, and he called me a faggot. You know, I count every time that I've been called a faggot, that I've been treated differently, and that would be number 37. And you know, his mother was nearby. He's just like, oh mom, look, it's a faggot, and I don't know what hurt more, the boy's sudden and hateful comment, or the mother's quick and hurried response to give me a look of kind of shock, and she told her boy off, and I don't know why that got to me, because you know, you and I, we would spend our lives building bricks to keep everyone away from knowing our true selves. We went to Oxford. We learned the Queen's English. We tried to get into the job at the museum, but I could never be like you, Thomas. At least I didn't think. You would, when we were looked at like that, you wouldn't hide or get angry. You'd just keep on going about your day. And I guess that's what I respected so much about you, is you always manage to see the best in people. I could really use you today. But you know, I on the way back from the park, I walked past the same person and the same kid, and he was sitting by himself on the bench, and he was trying to build what looked like castles out of the dirt, and I just said hello. Something in me wanted to snap at him and kind of search for why he had so much hatred. But as I talked to him about moats, castles, and knights, I began to see him as more of a vessel for what ideas his and influences he has had poured into him. And I remembered you. I remembered how you would look at people and see the best. And I guess but these kind of stones, they throw at us. The ripples never fully subside. But perhaps the answer isn't to throw stones back. Perhaps it's to still the water, to refuse to be defined by the ripples. So I think I'll go back to the park tomorrow. Perhaps he'll be there, perhaps not. But I think forgiveness isn't forgetting the pain. It's forgetting not to let the pain consume you, and finding the humanity to forgive those who wouldn't find it in you. And still, every time I get called a faggot, it hurts like a wound. But today, I'm going to count it to something else. And perhaps it's not enough to start building another kind of wall, not to keep the world out, but to create a place where someday men like me and what would have been you might live without counting scars.